Chaos is not new. Every age has called its own time chaotic. Wars, plagues, politics, betrayals, natural disasters, and sudden losses, these things are not inventions of the modern world. They are part of the fabric of human life. What feels different today is the speed. The chaos moves faster. News arrives instantly. Expectations pile up endlessly. Voices compete for our attention without pause. We are plugged in, pressured, and pulled in every direction. And yet, despite all this noise, the Stoics offered a powerful truth. You cannot control the storm, but you can control whether you are destroyed by it. You cannot stop the chaos of the world, but you can build the strength to endure it, even thrive within it. That strength is inner fortitude, the unshakable foundation of character that allows you to walk through the storm without breaking. Inner fortitude is not about being unfeeling or indifferent. It is about being rooted. Imagine a tree in the middle of a hurricane. The wind howls, the rain pounds, but the tree with deep roots bends and survives. The tree with shallow roots snaps and falls. Fortitude is those roots. The deeper you grow them, the more chaos you can withstand. The Stoics dedicated their lives to cultivating this strength, and their wisdom still guides us today. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor of Rome, lived through plague, betrayal, and war. He lost children, endured conspiracies, and ruled an empire that constantly threatened to collapse. Yet in his private journal, he wrote words like these: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He did not escape chaos. He learned to live with it without losing himself. That is inner fortitude. So how do we build this strength in our own chaotic world? How do we stand firm when life shakes us? The Stoics gave us practices, not theories, but habits we can live by. Let's walk through them slowly and see how each one fortifies the soul. The first step is control of perception. Chaos begins not with the event itself, but with the story we tell ourselves about it. Epictetus said, "It's not things that upset us, but our opinions about them." When something goes wrong, the chaos enters not through reality, but through judgment. A cancelled plan feels like catastrophe only because your mind paints it that way. A failure feels fatal only because you interpret it as such. Fortitude begins when you train yourself to see events clearly, without exaggeration. Instead of screaming, "This is unbearable," you whisper, "This is difficult, but I can endure." That small shift is the seed of strength. Second, fortitude grows from focusing only on what is within your control. The Stoics split life into two categories: what you can control and what you cannot. You cannot control the economy, the weather, or other people's choices. You cannot control fortune or chance. But you can always control your thoughts, your actions, your effort, your values. Chaos becomes overwhelming when you waste energy trying to control what was never yours. Fortitude arises when you pour yourself fully into what you can influence and release what you cannot. That clarity turns storms into training grounds instead of prisons. Third, fortitude is built through voluntary discomfort. The Stoics practiced going without luxuries, eating simple food, wearing rough clothes, and imagining loss. Not because they hated life, but because they wanted to train their minds to remain steady when comfort was taken away. Seneca advised, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" This practice made them unafraid of loss, unafraid of poverty, unafraid of sudden change. In a chaotic world, the person who needs little cannot be shaken. Fourth, fortitude requires stillness. We think strength comes from constant action, but the Stoics taught that it also comes from silence. Marcus Aurelius wrote that nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Even in the chaos of battlefields and politics, he carved out moments of stillness to center himself. We can do the same through meditation, reflection, journaling, or simply pausing before reacting. Stillness clears the fog, steadies the heart, and restores perspective. Without it, chaos drags you in every direction. With it, you can stand calmly even in the whirlwind. Fifth, fortitude grows from remembering mortality. Life's chaos feels unbearable when you assume you are owed endless tomorrows, but Marcus reminded himself daily, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Memento mori, the practice of remembering death, is not morbid. It is liberating. It shrinks problems down to their true size. The insult you received, the plan that failed, the opportunity you lost, all are temporary. Death is the great equalizer. Remembering it does not paralyze you. It frees you from anxiety about trivial things and strengthens you to face life's storms with courage. Sixth, fortitude comes from aligning your life with virtue. The Stoics taught that the only true good is virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Everything else, wealth, health, status, reputation, is preferred but not necessary. A person anchored in virtue cannot be broken by chaos because their foundation is internal, not external. If you lose money but keep justice, you are still rich. If you lose health but keep courage, you are still strong. If you lose reputation but keep wisdom, you are still whole. Fortitude comes when you stop measuring life by external outcomes and start measuring it by internal character. Seventh, fortitude is sustained through community. The Stoics did not preach isolation. They believed in living in harmony with nature, and part of nature is human connection. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids." To endure chaos, you must support and be supported, not with people who feed panic or greed, but with those who practice wisdom, who remind you of strength, who anchor you when you waver. Community does not eliminate chaos, but it lightens the weight of carrying it. Now imagine putting all of this together. Imagine waking up tomorrow in the same chaotic world, but instead of being pulled apart, you stand steady. You begin by checking your perceptions. Is this as bad as it seems? You focus on your own choices, not on what others do. You live simply, unafraid of discomfort. You carve out stillness, even in the noise. You remember that life is short and therefore precious. You measure success not by possessions or recognition, but by virtue. And you walk with others who share your values. Step by step, these habits form roots, and those roots give you fortitude, deep, unshakable, enduring. But let us be honest, this practice is not easy. Chaos will tempt you to forget. Fear will whisper that you need more control, more possessions, more approval. Desire will try to enslave you again. You will stumble, you will lose your temper, you will fall into worry. That is human. The Stoics themselves stumbled. Marcus wrote constantly about his own impatience. Seneca admitted his own fears. Epictetus spoke of his own struggles. But each time they fell, they returned to the practices. That return, that persistence, is how fortitude is forged. Inner fortitude is not a gift. It is a discipline. It is built day by day, choice by choice, habit by habit. And each time you choose it, you become freer. Freer from fear, freer from chaos, freer from the world's attempt to control you. So, what about you? Where do you most need fortitude today? Is it in facing uncertainty about the future? Is it in enduring criticism from others? Is it in living with less when you crave more? Is it in standing firm when life doesn't go your way? Ask yourself honestly, and then begin. Not with grand gestures, but with simple Stoic habits. Pause before reacting. Focus on what you can control. Practice gratitude for what you already have. Welcome small discomforts. Remember death. Align with virtue. Build roots, one at a time. And when the chaos rises, and it will, stand your ground. Bend if you must, but do not break. Remember, the storm is not in your control, but the strength you bring to it always is. This is the art of fortitude. This is the path of the Stoic. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to subscribe. Each week we explore Stoic habits not as distant philosophy, but as living practices for modern life. And share in the comments. What is one way you will build your own fortitude this week? Your answer may be the spark someone else needs to start. Because the truth is, the world will never stop being chaotic. The storms will always come, but you do not have to be broken by them. You can stand firm. You can endure. You can build inner fortitude and discover peace even in the storm. That is Stoic wisdom. That is a way worth walking.